I clearly intended to treat you as the rightful ruler of the state. But the country I govern is thriving instead. But the country I govern is flourishing. My mother, the Empress Dowager, stays in the palace ignoring state affairs. Even if my mother, the Empress Dowager, ignores state affairs in the palace, she even entrusts all national matters to her ministers. She even hands over the country's affairs to her trusted ministers. But the result lets those who covet the throne ruin the country. Step by step, I laid out the country's path. It turns out I've already bound myself to a wise ruler system. Only by breaking the nation's fate can I gain eternal life. In ancient times, it was difficult to plan. In ancient times, it was hard to plan anything. We can make a decision that won't be used against us. The court only sings praises, not discussing the basic policies. I'll imitate some wise rulers from history. That wouldn't be a loss at all. I saw a girl in a fen dress pull my hand. Thus, I recalled most of my memories. It unexpectedly turned into an empty world. After the Han and Chu kingdoms, history began to change drastically. Now, the Lake continent has 7 kingdoms standing together. The dynasty I'm in is one of the 7 kingdoms. The other 6 kingdoms are Wei, Dian, and Gua. Tian, Yan, Jia, and Tang kingdoms. Among them, Wei, Dian, Tian, and Gua are far more powerful than us. The other 4 kingdoms were later divided. Oh my god, I've actually crossed into such a killing world. But fortunately, I'm prepared. Then I had a recent memory. It turns out the envoy's mission was to add more gardens. He has already ascended the throne. Even the harem is fully staffed. He's directly interfering with my peace. The former demon girl. Her origin is very mysterious. Dan X comes from a big family. He is the current cabinet chief advisor. I have seen this sword technique before. I haven't attended court for 2 days. The emperor stays in the harem. The emperor rules the court and harem. The emperor stays in the harem. National fortune deduction 5 UU points. The emperor refuses to hold court. National fortune deduction UU points. Yubing begins to calculate the national fortune deduction IUU points. Obtain the Heaven Dragon Phoenix dual cultivation method. Obtain the beautiful Dragon Phoenix dual cultivation method. I have this key item. He is dozing off at the desk. In this world, martial arts are everything. In this world, martial arts exist. This is still a martial arts world. A martial artist can fight an army alone, but it's just a legend. Currently, the Qian dynasty has 2 martial masters. It's said this world is chaotic. What power is there? That would surely lead to death. This world has passed me by. There is a safe place. That martial skill is indispensable. And this Dragon Phoenix dual cultivation method is perfect. It allows me to gain martial skills, and in a comfortable way, absorb yin to nourish yang. Yin and yang coexist. This martial skill is specifically prepared for scholars. I saw a poor girl nearby. I touched her cheek. Her tender skin feels heavenly. Her tender skin feels wonderful. It makes one linger and forget to return. The poor girl is the empress. She has an air of elegance. Her girlish charm is hard to ignore. I won't leave. I am shocked. The poor girl is quite helpless about this. But I practice the blade lie dirt. But my blade just came out. She has a different method in the world. The world can only blow a breeze in one ear. The heart can only blow a breeze in one ear. I continue to sleep in lazily. Ben Miko takes care of the empress's affairs. But because I am Lithus, the world can only rest easy as my pillow. Waking up naturally feels so comfortable. Suddenly, a flash of light struck my mind. A eunuch hurriedly came forward and knelt down. The eunuch hurriedly left. The poor girl pays a visit. I close the door. The sky is clear and bright. That must be the monarch's decree. It is not yet certain. The system's voice rang out. Ding. The monarch's blade is excessively extravagant. National fortune decreased by 500 points. National fortune decreased by 600 points. Ding. Received a reward of gold coins. Ding. Received a gold coin, already placed in the warehouse. Having this system feels so comfortable. With the country's money, I enrich the people. Then I personally distribute the small treasury's money. Wonderful. This is a bit like a moonlit scene. This is a bit like a key scene. I felt a sense of comfort from the power of the blade. I suddenly felt this seemed like a wrong path. Poor girl, I have heard something about your situation. Tell me about your situation. The poor girl responded softly. She lay in my arms. She began to talk about the poor girl's situation. Soon the poor girl was startled by her. The 2 poor girls' situation. The sister at home is the country's woman. Her life is now quite difficult. A crazy force for the official. Another crazy one is set on the edge. Another crazy one is set to welcome the Marrow General. I laughed when I heard that. This is a powerful minister template. Become the Grand Secretary of the Yang Pavilion. Then the woman is set to become Empress. One from the civil path, one from the military. Wonderful, wonderful. Ben Miko, follow the Tsao Heart Palace. Ben, bring the Grand Secretary to me. Do Hung. The eunuch hurriedly ran off. The eunuch hurriedly ran away. Shui Kushonu Jun Yen. Si Kushonu Jun. Your Majesty, this is. What is it? Go and meet this old man I know. Tat him out. If it fits, then give him the power of the court, deeply harming the nation's fortune. This is not a light matter. On the other side, the Yuyuan Pavilion. Your Majesty, the privy. The eunuch looked at the gathering. The eunuch had a sacrifice called. Here, the Grand Secretary Ku and several cabinet members. The Yang Pavilion Grand Secretary has 10 silver bars and 10 gold bars. I, the Grand Secretary, am guilty. You may speak. The old eunuch stepped forward. The old eunuch stepped forward one step. Kuqian Not sure. The new emperor hasn't held court since his coronation. Then he endured and came to the Yang Pavilion. Then he endured and came to build the Yang. Your servant accepts the order. Kuqian Yan will take over. After that, the old eunuch left. The remaining cabinet members have 10 days to open. Quickly set a good mat for the girl. Quickly set it right for the girl. Now the Ku family will prosper. The Qian dynasty is not good at all. Then set the officials' money as I said. Then the officials' money is as I said. It's a whole tier lower than the other 6 kingdoms officials. So even the Ku clan is already poor and destitute. So even the Ku clan is already poor and empty, but still not as wealthy as ordinary families. Actually, if there's a sudden fortune, it might attract the court's attention. But now Kushur is living alone. But here Kushur is living alone. Your Majesty is wise. What does this mean? A cabinet member asked. Kuqianjin secretly closed the door, then turned and left. But Kushur is not the one to easily enter the trap. But Kushur is not the one to easily enter the memorial. He has an idea. Only storytellers. Spread the court's policies to the countryside to persuade. Let the people know. Then pair it with agricultural officials going down to inspect whether the folk tales met the storytellers. This way, the people can know the truth and not be deceived by corrupt officials. Don't let corrupt officials deceive the people. Average 1 corrupt official killed per day. When the anti-corruption mechanism is fully implemented in the 6 kingdoms, it's a pity there are always corrupt officials bullying the people, adjusting quotas and then taking kickbacks. Have the storytellers unify their narrative. Then pair it with agricultural officials. Then the corrupt official's path is blocked. 1 kill, 1 hit. Hurry and implement this to kill corrupt officials. Then Manhwa will surely have a way out. Ku Tianren's graceful steps. A name not before the rice. Your Majesty, please summon Ku Tian to Chashin Hall. Your Majesty, please summon Ku Tianren to Chashin Hall. At this moment, I sat on the throne in Chashin Hall. The old man before me nodded. Do you lie the gifts I sent you? 10 years of worship. Sister gift. Heart speaks of you only. Face speaks of you only. Thai face speaks of you only. Should say something else. I lie it. And the king asked directly. Recent court work. Your Excellency, are there any officials worth mentioning? I don't understand your Majesty's thoughts on Kushur. Are there officials you can't name? I'll help you. Which officials can't you name? I'm very direct. Old man, just be a good minister for me. Kunyo speaks smoothly. Send no advice. Only say you have no one to oppose. I trust the old man's judgment. Then I think history is all given to the genie people. Right. Kushuren is handsome. He still has a few names left. Old man, you can tell me anything. I trust you. I just went over and patted Manyo's shoulder. This Kuqianjin. Ben Yuan advises the court not to give too much power and go to court. Blood waits for the court. But you trust him so much. How can you not repay the whole truth? How can you not repay this whole favor? I know my crime. Kuqian said. Songdi is good. I have Kushur's decree to leave the palace. Little Fuzi. A eunuch immediately entered. This is my trusted eunuch. He has been by my side since childhood. Loyal. Fuzi said. Remember these people well. No need to report to me. Just cut what needs cutting and open what needs opening. I'll leave the Chaosheng Hall and go to the Empress for fun. Advisor, please. Advisor. Little Fuzi said respectfully. Eunuch Yu Chong. Kushur said. I thought I'd reach the majority. No longer need to stay in the new city. You don't need to attend court. Then relinquish power. Then this is the second spring. Then this is the first spring. Kushur's face was flushed. The court's official, Brother Een. He doesn't get along with that batch of officials from Jiangnan. Jiangnan is wealthy. They've bought many sons. These sons have entered the court. Already speaking for Jiangnan, he's long been displeased with these officials. Kept Pai to attend court. Though the court is not in session, the cabinet can still run the country. And this eunuch, Xiado, read the list. Suddenly, many officials were shocked, including Kunyo. An old minister in the cabinet looked shocked. Kushur, you've alarmed the whole palace. Minister Lin, please. Minister, please. Does Dingen have evidence? When you speak, you decide. When you demote, you decide. Minister Lin's face flushed red with anger. He never expected things to turn out like this. He never expected things to become like this. How could that memorial demand such power? Even if you don't attend court, I won't let power slip away like this. Minister Lin, Minister Lin, Minister Lin, please calm down. Minister Lin, quickly call the imperial physician. Minister Lin is still causing chaos here. Kushur let out a long, slow breath. Is this the taste of being a minister? Now in this court, there's no one left to oppose him, if not for Ding Yan's sake. Otherwise, Ku Qian would have been expelled. Otherwise, Kushur would have been expelled. He heard the system's prompt. But you ministers are in court. National fortune deducted 500. Kunyo laughed and gained 10 years of life. Good heavens, deducted 500 in one go. Now that's a loss of 500. Current national fortune, 96,500. Still 28 days until the end. This degree of defeat drains national fortune. The cat can be dealt with. I can't help but take a sip of tea. But you ministers are beyond redemption. Deducted national fortune by 500. Treasury gained 3,000 gold. Current national fortune, 96,000. Hearing the system's clear sound, I was delighted. The new imperial temple construction is complete. You and heaven are wedded here. Little Fuzi, summon the 100 officials. Skilled craftsmen, speed up the construction for me. Debt. Little Fuzi, go and see. I want to carefully review this plan. This place can continue to be developed. No one dares to disobey me. All officials' salaries are to be raised. All doubled. Debt. Someone go and summon the 100 officials. But you must not embezzle funds. National fortune drops by 5,000 points. Treasury gains 500,000 silver. Distance to completion is 15 days. Distance to completion is still 15 days. This time it dropped so much. That many hearts are not settled yet. The temple gives me returns. The 100 officials and eunuchs return. The treasury's money is reduced by 10%. The rest of the money is all given to the officials. I said so. The little eunuch runs quickly. The little eunuch runs away. But you must not embezzle funds. National fortune drops by 5,000 points. Obtain 100 million silver. Obtain 100,000 silver. 30 million gold. Open the inner treasury. Automatically added under the city system. 10 inner treasuries are placed. Current national fortune is 90,000. My heart is very happy. My mood is not good. Your Majesty, why are you so generous to the officials? Spending so much money. Kusher, you have a good question. What do you mean? The officials have always had too much money. I fear the officials have always had too much money. This will surely make the officials arrogant and harm our dynasty. This official will surely ruin our dynasty. How did Suilin find a spy? He can't just blame me for the nation's decline. Do you believe it, little one? He must maintain his image before the emperor. He must uphold his dignity before the emperor. All are from the capital. The disgraced Grand Secretary Lin is idle at home. A lavish carriage arrives. Then a wealthy merchant from the south arrives. At Grand Secretary Lin's residence. This man is a wealthy merchant from Jiangnan. Grand Secretary, I heard of the court's upheaval and rushed back. The Jiangnan merchant speaks to Grand Secretary Lin. Grand Secretary Lin, your spirit. Grand Secretary, your spirit. The young emperor neglects court affairs. You let that damned Kusher seize the opportunity. Now the court is ruled by Kusher's faction. What can be done? We in Jiangnan spent so much to train officials, and now it's all for nothing. They have no voice in the court. The wealthy merchant knows. Even wisdom has no good plan. Just wait and see for now. Grand Secretary Lin says. And now someone enters to report. The emperor has issued a new decree. He greatly increased the official salaries. All official salaries have tripled. Grand Secretary, 1 SE. This directly makes official salaries the highest in the land. Grand Secretary Lin and the wealthy merchant exchange glances. Grand Secretary, what is this? Wealthy merchant, you don't understand. Heaven's belly cannot shine tomorrow. Heaven's anus cannot punish tomorrow. I wonder if the Ministry of Revenue has that much money. No, the old man welcomes the handsome one. This Ministry of Revenue official is a nosebleed. A handful of them find Kusher to complain. A cat has oil when Kunyo complains. Heaven's people finally cannot go on. You rise up, rice. Kusher's juice is strict. How can an old man treat him so harshly? You must persuade the emperor well. He has drained all the Ministry of Revenue's money. This time, the Ministry of Revenue's money is all drained. This bag cannot be bought. This bitter bag cannot be bought. The ministry official rests today. Your Majesty, this move has great consequences. Your Majesty, this move indeed has great consequences. Kunyo stai. Kusher stai. Of course, the Qian dynasty's official salaries have always been a problem. Of course, the Luan dynasty's official salaries have always been a problem. But it cannot be solved this way. But it cannot be resolved this way. Money must still be used for other things. The construction work in various regions is underway. Everything needs money. Report. This person walks. Someone has the Ministry of Revenue's deputy. Someone has the Ministry of Revenue's deputy song. Speak directly. This is a returning person. Kunyo speaks. Heaven's people have Grand Secretary Lin under surveillance. No one has Grand Secretary Lin under surveillance. They found him in contact with a Jiangnan merchant. One person speaks. Kusher fears sinking. Kunyo fears sinking. The Ministry of Revenue official is no longer here. He has locked Kusher's box. Your Majesty, using Kusher's heart lies right here. Your Majesty is wise. I wonder about the court's factional struggles. Reuse Lord Ma. Use Kusher. Then it's settled at the outer lake. How did you decide that? Jiangnan's monthly tribute. The Minister of Revenue spoke with Kusher for a while. The clothes are all glowing. I must go and see His Majesty. The old man wants to see me. I went to fish by a lake in the harem. I went to fish by a big lake in the harem. Then the eunuch carried me in a sedan to the Chow Hall. You'll see Kusher soon. You've arrived at Kusher. Kusher has no dispute. Long lie the emperor. Your humble servant found Grand Secretary Lin in close contact with a Jiangnan merchant. Jiangnan is a land of abundance. But yearly taxes keep declining. Yearly taxes keep declining. But yearly taxes keep declining. Kusher said, is there corruption? Then how can we act? We cannot touch the Jiangnan merchant. I said, your servant will go tomorrow. Kusher bowed. How should His Majesty handle this? Let it take its course. Remember that. Kusher alone cannot move Jiangnan. Kusher pondered, then suddenly understood. His Majesty is wise. Alright, you may leave now. Kusher left the Chow Hall, enlightened. So that's it. Then I must do what I should. My brother controls the court. Then must I target Jiangnan? The Jiangnan merchant has much money. Then are other places poor? This is how His Majesty wants me to govern the region. Relying on a monopoly to supply corrupt goods. Relying on a strong monopoly to supply corrupt goods. Silver coins. And gave the official shell to the world, telling the official shell cannot betray. Enough coins for the future. Why is that blade not clear? So that's how it is. Let bygones be bygones. Set a few examples to rectify the atmosphere. But we don't need to pursue all corruption to the end. But the court lacks money and needs to send a message out. Heh, so that's how it is. So that's how it is. Kusher can be punished tomorrow. Then the grand meteor left the palace. Then he arrived. Began the burial. The current national fortune is booming. The Brocade Guard's death squads serve the 10 directions. The Brocade Guard's death squads are loyal to the king, but they can be explored as ordinary individuals, with martial arts as first-rate warriors. But they can be explored as ordinary individuals, with martial arts as second-rate warriors. The small leaders have martial arts as first-rate warriors. The Brocade Guard's 4 great masters are Lie dragons and tigers, but none are grandmaster warriors. I laughed when I heard that. Good heavens. For grandmaster level, those among them, the big shot can practice both dragon and phoenix. But at most, they only reach first-rate warrior. Currently, the Brocade Guard is not sensitive in the country. Previously, the Brocade Guard was not sensitive in the country. 1 Brocade Guard is all tied up. 10,000 Brocade Guards are all tied up. I'm afraid it's not bad. In the future, you all will have to settle for a long time. There are righteous people in the martial world. Assassinating with dogs is not good. Sure, I will definitely be safe. But it's to kill. It's not time to go yet. The first head is in place, but these external heads should also be in place. Basically, everyone is pleased. Quick, bring a new knife. Send a new one. I bring a new knife. Continue happily ruining the nation's fortunes. I am extremely happy to see you go play. I am extremely happy to see you go play now. As for those bamboo poles, they have all been approved for Kunyo. But if you set a particularly safe memorial, this will surely come to me. Let me decide. Kuzifu. The Ministry of Revenue saw the short legs running over. Kusher said. At this time, he was waving his sword. Heaven's dew drips down. Don't be happy. Even your body is much better. Mother's face is radiant. After eating 2 bowls of rice, you can still wield a sword now. Actually, don't let the day come when you are like this at age 48. These ordinary people all die cleanly. An old man over 40. And now, Kusher saw himself lie at age 38, young and strong. Inside, there is a young eunuch passing a message. The emperor's inner treasury has many gold, silver, and jewels. The emperor's inner treasury has many gold, silver, and jade. We must give the border a great success. The Minister of Revenue is called through. How can this be? Rumors, right? Kusher said. It might not be a rumor. It might not be true. I have it. Although it's just a glance, I see it. I have never seen so much gold and silver treasure. So much it can't fit and overflows. The Minister of Revenue is pleased. The Minister of Revenue feels it. I will open the treasury tomorrow. The Minister of Revenue has closed the road. The Deputy Minister of Revenue has closed the passage. This is His Majesty testing me. The National Treasury. What is that? The Imperial Treasury has more silver than the National Treasury. If my training had not succeeded, you, Your Majesty, would have used the Imperial Treasury's silver to run the country. You fear His Majesty would use the Imperial Treasury's silver to run the country. I originally thought this was 1,000 tons of grain. I originally thought that was 1,000 tons of grain. I originally thought this was 1,000 tons of grain. But where did all this silver come from? What is the relationship between them? What is the tax relationship between them? The Imperial family's affairs are not something Kunyo can meddle in. Have our training sessions ever failed? The Minister of Revenue is happily opening the sky. Now, besides Jiangnan, other regions have all been investigated for corruption. Other regions have all been investigated for massive corruption. The Brocade Guard confiscated property cleanly. Now the National Treasury has 200,000 taels of silver. So much. Kusher, he has not arrived yet. Since there is so much silver, this ugly Kusher must be opening that storyteller, promoting the court's laws. It was all using the silver given by the late emperor. In the court, one faction dominates. Kusher will tell this to the Brocade Guard. Naturally, each one is well-fed and plump. Naturally, each one is well-fed. The rest of the time, he is negotiating with those regional merchants. He also gave orders to those local officials. Past corruption will not be tolerated. Now, catch a few ringleaders and execute them. Kill the chicken to scare the monkey. Kill the chicken. Do you have a knife? Now, the court has opened the salary system to continue fighting corruption. Then it is giving face but not taking it. Use both soft and hard tactics. The court is now fully armed against me. The court has shown its hand against me. The court is now fully prepared to strike. This can be achieved through internal effort. This can be achieved within a single day. The treasury is drained of silver. Your Majesty. Kunyo said. Kuzifu, when will we move on Jiangnan? Kuzifu, when will we strike Jiangnan? Kuzifu, when will we act on Jiangnan? The blood debt of corrupt officials and merchants. I will reform the heavens. Every single one will be skinned alive. The Minister of Revenue awaits Your Majesty's order. At this moment, I am completely convinced by this new star. I am convinced by this new star. An official is nothing but a clown. Since we have shown the heavens a new spirit, I only want to work with Kubienin. Suddenly, I remembered something. The Empress Dowager does not interfere in politics. I will go to Jiaxin Palace. Little Fuzi, go fetch the memorials from the cabinet. Bring the unprocessed memorials here. Your Majesty has decided. Kubienin has been appointed. I will go with you. The cabinet must be loyal. It should be so. Little eunuch, go and deliver this. These memorials from the cabinet remain unprocessed. Kusher said. The cabinet members have all come down. The cabinet members have all retreated. Your Majesty still cares about the court. Kunyo said. These memorials are usually all processed. They are all troublesome matters. All of you, listen well. The emperor has delegated power to you, but within the city, there is still the Brocade Guard. Then the imperial power is unshakable. Can't electrocute the university. Can't have a day. Since the crown prince was established, he shouldn't have had such thoughts. Even if the crown prince was established, he shouldn't have had such thoughts. The world's bell was broken by time. Now the Grand Secretariat. Only Kusher's faction remains. Therefore, words are all calculated. separated. That is the principle of mutual use. The Grand Secretariat has become a closed path. Tianqian's system ensures power centralization. No system ensures power centralization. Heaven's system ensures power centralization. The Brocade Guard has the special power to act first and report later. Help me review the memorials. I have Kushonu's path. I have Kubienen's path. 7y. Kushonu was startled, trying to break free from his grip. Now I am a first-class martial artist. Naturally, he cannot break free. Your Majesty, you cannot buy it. The Empress Dowager is a great taboo. You are clever. This is not a political matter. The wind and blood are raging against me. How dare you try to replace me? How dare you try to rebel against me? I dare not. Kubienen has no ties. Can only sit in my embrace. Carefully began to review the memorials, praying silently in his heart, hoping that his own father would not because of this matter suffer any punishment. This matter suffered some punishment. This matter suffered what punishment? Made any move against the Empress Dowager's government. Made any move against the Empress Dowager's harem. The nation's fortune dropped a bit. Kubienen's intelligence increased by 1-fold. A faint scent of her body wafted over. I wish I could just take Kubienen right here and now. I can't bear to let Kubienen go. I wish I could catch Kubienen right here. After much effort, I held back my shame. No matter what, I cannot stay here. There is a heavenly beauty to save, with all due respect. There is a heavenly beauty to save, with all due reason. There is a heavenly beauty to save, with all due respect. I can't help but move my hands and feet. Below the seat, Kubienen's face is flushed. Actually, there is a point to make. I know. I really lie such a heavenly person. A moment later, Kushonu has a flushed face and a weak voice, speaking. Below the seat, this is a memorial of great importance. I have seen it once. Now, the 7 kingdoms. Generally, they can be divided into 4 major countries. Northwest, Southwest, Northeast, Southeast. The Northeast has a country. Yan is 1 country, with a strong military. Yan is 3 countries, with a strong military. The Yu country is at war. Southeast has 2 countries. Wan, Tang, Da, and Luan countries. Xian is in the middle. Tian is below. Tang is in a slightly higher position. There is a country in the northwest. Wei is now the strongest country on the continent. Its territory is vast and its military is strong. In the southwest, there is 1 country. That is Dian country. It relies on a great danger. Among the 7 kingdoms, Luan's military is the weakest. Among the 7 kingdoms, Ru's military is the strongest. Among the 7 kingdoms, Luan's military is the weakest. Its territory is the smallest. This memorial hopes Qian will emulate Tang and Guan. This memorial hopes Luan will emulate Tang and Guan. This memorial hopes Qian will emulate Tang and Guan. This memorial hopes Ryu will emulate Tang and Guan. Use geographical advantages to develop the economy. Develop the economy. After presenting it, what do you think? I humbly find this memorial quite reasonable. The grain tax determines a nation's foundation. Kushonu has said too much. Kubienen has said too much. I have not asked. Mifu says you right. Kushonu was startled. I would never write it myself. I beg your majesty to forgive my earlier rudeness. The empress is uncertain about Funua. We must not follow the 3 kingdoms of Tang and Guan. Absolutely do not imitate Tang, Guan, and the 3 kingdoms. Good, you may withdraw. Good, you may go. Oh, now the situation is stable and peaceful. What exactly is your majesty's intention? What exactly is your majesty's intention to purchase? The memorials must quickly return to the Grand Secretariat. The Grand Secretariat has a man. In a short time, 1 sentence made them all panic. In a short sentence, he made them all panic. What is your majesty's intention? What is the small intention to purchase? Do not imitate Tang Tian, since it is 1 sentence. The Grand Secretary's old man was helpless. At this time, summon eunuch Zomi. Can Kuzifu be trusted to speak less? Kuzifu has a colleague. Kuzifu has a silver colleague. Then he left. Eunuch, what advice do you have? Your majesty will review the memorials with the empress. Kushur was startled. Please, Grand Secretary. Good, to you. Eunuch bowed, and Kushur hurriedly returned the courtesy. The eunuch left, and Kunyo returned to the Grand Secretariat, lost in thought. And Kushur returned to the Grand Secretariat, lost in thought. Suddenly, a flash of inspiration struck his mind. It turned out to be that. Kuzifu, what did you see? County Yu asked in SOC. He asked in surprise. Under the throne, how could Tang Tian 1 country appear? Under the throne, how could Tang Wan 2 country appear? Under the throne, how could Tang Wan 3 country appear? Kushur asked. Is there some hidden trick? Grand Secretary Lin and the officials. Besides Tangwan too, there are 4 countries. Wei, Min, Yen, and Jia. 4 countries. As I said, far away, they oppose Tang Tianwan. Which countries are those? Kushur stroked his beard and said. Kunyo stroked his beard and said. That must be the Zhaojia 2 countries. An official in the cabinet said. Yanjia 1 country. Values martial arts over righteousness. Thus, Tangwan 1 is a country that values martial arts over righteousness. That is correct. Gongshur nodded. We must not imitate Tang Tian 2. We must not imitate Tangwan 1. The whole court forgot. The whole court remembered. We should follow Yanjia 1 country. We should imitate Yanjia 2 countries. We should follow Yanjia 1 country. Kuzifu thought, under the throne, you value martial arts over civil affairs. Not necessarily, Kuqian said. Just one question. If we change the plan, then, we should focus on the battlefield. I see. Kuzifu is a loyal subject of the country. That is reasonable. Peng Tu understood it this way. Yong Tu understood it this way. Peng Tu understood it this way. It still depends on me. Kuzifu. The old man in the cabinet sighed. Then they raised a question. So how should it be done? Mifu said, I'll teach you properly. Kushur then looked at the cabinet members and started talking. I am not a child. Peace has been long. One side of the chariot is fixed. One side of the chariot is not fixed. Since I understand There is no position. This net has a fold in front of it. A cabinet member named Xu Yunzi submitted a memorial. Don't give it to others. Divide it among the rest. The cabinet has many folds to collect. This man is named Zhang Qiao. He is the Minister of Revenue. I am afraid Kusher has seen these folds. I am afraid Kuqian has seen these folds. Kuqian has seen these folds. You are a bit not as good as this. Recently, confiscating property has brought in a lot of money. Why not use this money? Solve all these problems. Collect the box. With money, it's easy to fight. Zhang Qiao's mansion is connected. Order the brocade guard to investigate the corruption in the chariot. No need to kill everyone. Pull out the typical ones and confiscate their property. Governing the country is like cooking small fish. Your Majesty, this is how to govern local corruption. Spare the Jiangnan and Guangli areas. It must be given to the old man, not to be ignored. Kuqian is grateful. Set the rules. Set up rewards for reporting to stop the trend. Zhang Qiao talks leisurely. The problem of fewer positions is also easy to solve. Fewer ministries. Recruit chariots to fill the ranks. Since there is plenty of money, the treatment of soldiers can also be improved. Civil officials can enjoy tax benefits. Military officials should be like this. Solve the training problem. It's not hard to solve. Slowly increase training. Just start it up. Just start training. At this time, a cabinet member has a will. This man is named Dao Fu Fengji. He once served in the Ministry of Revenue. Every move he makes costs money. I propose to improve the treatment. We propose to improve the treatment. He will surely be impeached by officials again. The treasury is so full that gold and silver cannot fit. Bloody shame. The old memorial is for you to review. The memorial is for you to review. Kunyo strokes his beard. Zhang Qiao speaks up. Let the wind out and let the officials submit memorials. I will present the memorial to you. Presenting it will surely reveal the problem. That means our strategy is urgent. These words are reasonable. Everyone nods in agreement. Since we have refuted Grand Secretary Lin, representing the Jiangnan faction, then everyone also rises for the country and the people to achieve a great cause with determination. Because the previous generation was corrupt lie dogs. The tax law in Jiangnan is too good. The court has nurtured many officials from Jiangnan. Thus the Jiangnan faction became a dominant faction. The factions from other regions united. They oppose and erode the Jiangnan faction. It is already formed. The new emperor ascended and is determined to suppress the Jiangnan faction. Let Ka take a breath. Open when it should open, rot when it should rot. Daily punishment. The court has indeed formed a faction. But the head of this faction was originally Dao. To counter the Jiangnan faction, they united. This faction's waters are deep. Each official has different interests. They are scattered across various regions. It has caused much discontent. It was suppressed by the cabinet, and there was no time to investigate. It was decided to take it down. If Xu Yunzi's attitude were a bit more lenient, then the memorials would fly and lie snowflakes. The corrupt officials in Jiangnan are not being investigated. They only investigate these small places. They always pick the soft targets. Quickly, the wind has been let out. The official clique heard it. He frowned. The Minister of Revenue, Ku Zifu, had someone before him. The intelligence report. The wind released by the cabinet. This cabinet. How did they start changing the memorial's content? Ku Zifu frowned. In any place, 10,000 people compete for everything. The Ministry of Revenue is a place to skim off profits. Is this your Majesty's intention? Ku Zifu muttered. But now His Majesty does not attend court. He lingers in the harem, and he even created a new flower garden. This is not like him. It must be those old men in the cabinet. The Jiangnan faction has fallen. Now His Majesty only favors Kunyo. He has started changing memorials recklessly. Ku Zifu angrily slapped the table. Old Master Chong. A man came running. The censor-in-chief, Fu Tianren, requests an audience. Quickly, let him in. Ku Zifu hurriedly said. This time, civil and censorial officials jointly submitted memorials. At dawn, I felt refreshed. I slept until I woke naturally. As soon as I woke, I found a woman beside me. As soon as I woke, I found a poor woman beside me. As soon as I woke, I found a woman beside me. Is heaven really that good? I'm done for. Your Majesty, of course you have. Your servant is never bored with anything. Ku Bianen is done for. Haha. If only I could be so comfortable forever. Court session. Scheming and plotting. Stay away from me. Afterwards, I chatted with Ku Bianen. Then we toured the Imperial Garden. Then we went to Chashing Hall to review memorials. Ku Shonu has submitted a memorial. What is it? A memorial impeaching your servant for improper relations. Heaven has it. I took the memorial and squinted. Only a little thought. What does this memorial mean? Tian Qian is now discussing military affairs. Completely implement the special treatment for military generals. This official is determined to promote martial arts. Exhaust the national treasury. These censors' memorials are lengthy and numerous. Only useful letters are these. It's so painful. Then I hid the memorial in the desk. Your Majesty, you are truly interesting. Hey, I tricked Ku Bianen. He asked about the world's affairs. This matter is indeed very difficult. Can we make changes within the carriage? After deep thought, I made a decision. Return. Fragrant sky writes work. Set now change safe 1 item day. Set now change woman 1 item seong day. Can moon be so? Safe send us water. Your subject in Rong X Su thanks the Emperor. Your subject in Rong X thoroughly thanks the Emperor. Ku Shonu and Yuanzi receive bamboo gift. No need. Right. Stay in my arms. Right. Good. Mad in my arms. Return. Sure, add joy. Sure, beautiful joy. I do this, surely have my own time to forget. I do this, surely have my own forgetfulness. I do this, surely have my own time to forget. One aspect. What bad is there in changing the car affairs? Double ring national fortune returns to double ring national fortune. Dang Rong Jun returns to Dang Rong Ruo. Dang Gu Ruo returns to Dang Rong Ruo. Car strife, this weariness, still stop using much money's weapon. Protect the citizens. And ugly poor common martial arts surely a good way to ruin national fortune. And ugly poor soldiers martial arts surely a good way to ruin national fortune's blade. Second aspect. Can make fa and hep pie. This alien. Second aspect. He believes his own old man as a secret minister. Make Gu Jun he sword poor soldiers martial arts favor. Then summon favor. Then outside relatives, powerful ministers, should collect. And harem dragon. Then outside relatives, powerful ministers, should collect. And Chen national fortune zu point. Deduct Chen national fortune zu grade. Current national fortune 88 UUU grade. Distance to end still moon z big. Obtain sun guan look far drawing kusho. An xi and knife iu kush or ming jiong iu. I monkey j monkey down. Look far drawing. Have grade how xine. Primary school go cat deliver injury drawing deliver to craftsman. Primary school go cat this drawing deliver to craftsman. After doing yuan, one copy give fu to me. Remaining vehicles can provide. Xiao Fu hurriedly goes to do. At the throne. Is that Dingzhu? Some items. Using it on the battlefield is unfavorable. I understand. It's still that matter. The national fortune declines, not the national fortune. If the national fortune doesn't decline, the national fortune is tested. The general's life is at stake. The national fortune uses countless methods. We must ensure the chariot war doesn't spread. The war has reached what stage? Able to prevent other countries from invading. Wait until he makes the national fortune crown the king of earth. He makes the national fortune crown the king of earth. Exhaust all blessings. Unifying earth is just between you and me. At the throne, a great sword. Your majesty is mighty with a sword. Keluanu's connection. Thriving. But there is a pause in my ancient dryness. This little girl. A tragic time. A foolish time. He is utterly useless for that woman. Later, treat the harem with more favor. Able to wield Kelua's sword. Now my mother sees rice at night. This tax collector's small box. Kuchian has a beard. Or Kuzifu's harshness. The rest of the cabinet members all flatter. One side. Kushur is now at his peak. The other side is also at its peak. It's settled. Now this cabinet of 1,000 people is all. Kushur last time brought it up. This is heaven's grace. Now it can be presented with a new heart. It is the poll we predicted. It is the poll we all predicted. 100 stones of rice. When we fully advance the reform, this net has a way out. This net has a busy path. Debt. All clear before Dewan's seat. All clear before the attendant's seat. All clear before Dewan's seat. The confiscated goods netted over 10 taels of silver daily. This divination can move heaven and earth. This can move the great heavens. You have. One can't make bricks without straw. You have money and power. Then that reform can't even be discussed. Don't always let the farming guards met my training. Don't let the brocade guards met my training. We stand on the same front line. Right. Favorable timing, geography, and human unity. Ha ha ha. The cabinet members are full of spirit. One sees a cat of a year's age. One sees a year's age. Finally settled a day's dispute. These 7 great nations. Mutual restraint. These 7 great nations. Now officials aim for reform. Why? Because after the national reform, the national strength rose. Now all scholars' ultimate gone is to become officials. Alone. Since you have your own nation's harmony. Since you see your own nation's harmony, then it's the same as the beginning. Unify the world. In a forest. Save me. Young hero, save me. A servant with light kung fu leaped into the tree without moving, shouting for help. And several commoner-clad youths followed closely behind, chasing this man with long knives. Many thinks, that patrol seems a bit heavy. That far seems to have a faint joy. The escort Tim is passing by. An escort Tim is passing by with a shipment. A young girl in disguise. Pointing at this, he says, its literary alliance has a song, then the sky changes. It squints again, then the sky changes. Its literary alliance has eyes, then the sky changes. Everyone stop. Put your weapons on the cart. The middle-aged man shouts. He immediately places a treasured knife on the cart. He immediately places a jade knife on the cart. What is this all about? We are men of honor. Seeing injustice, we must draw our swords to help. The girl is confused. The girl is puzzled. Just do as told. The middle-aged man grabs the long sword from the girl's waist and puts it on the cart. A young servant passes by here. A gust of wind blows. A flying dart accurately hits the servant. The servant falls to the ground with a cry. Then, those commoner-clothed men walk over. They surround the escort Tim. Among them, one bows with clasped hands. They lift the servant and cut his tendons. They throw him away like a dead dog. These people are so cruel. The girl's face turns pale. Someone comes to ask. Do you know those people? No, but I recognize their style. The middle-aged man says. What style? The middle-aged man takes a deep breath and says solemnly. The brocade guard. The criminal city. The Ministry of Personnel's department office's chief clerk. He slaps a palm on the cart. These cabinet ministers. Gone he is greater than a T-heart. Wu he is greater than a T-heart J. Qing Xiaoren. Xuemu Shi Ding has some Yuer. How to deal with this? What can be done? Could it be that Fu Wangshu dies in class? Jiu Zhao Fei. Now those military officers are delighted. Some civil officials are now restless, since there is a joint memorial from the cabinet and military generals. It is a joint memorial from the cabinet and military generals. Pressure is too great. Pregnant woman shook her head. He and Qingyu are from the same faction. Back then, the imperial examination. It was Jiu Zhao's affiliated poor knife gang. It was Jiu Zhao's affiliated poor knife cloth. It was Jiu Zhao's affiliated poor knife gang. Let the scholar get a good rank. People in this court are military officials. This struggle cannot stop the tide of the times. Cannot stop the tide. Cannot stop the tide of the times. But it must be studied carefully. Jiu Zhao strokes his beard. This new duel recommendation is quite grand. No more than 100 ancient coins. As far as I know, basically, the whole country has fallen. Among them, the brocade guard runs everywhere. I don't know how this brocade guard seems to be injected with chicken blood. Extremely formidable. As if overnight, it became the same as before. The brocade guard from Emperor Taizu's time. Not a single feather. Emperor Taizu used the brocade guard as a special tool. Light breaks the stone. Relying on the brocade guard, he killed many corrupt officials. Countless corrupt officials trembled. But as time passed, the brocade guard also declined. After your majesty ascended the throne, the brocade guard surprisingly rose again. I sigh at the world's affairs. There are some brocade guards. This matter can't be resolved so quickly. And the negative reviews. But all the negative reviews just started. As a censor, I've received many reports. Now, those mid and low-level officials dare not act. It's troublesome. Over there, they're pressuring us to act soon. Qing Yuzhao shook his head. I don't have any good ideas either. For now, just lie low. I'm afraid that's all we can do. If the emperor summons me, the new policies haven't been implemented yet. He indulges in pleasure, but there's still much to be done. The new military training camp. He won't approve the new camp. Military reforms have greatly improved, but they've encountered some obstacles. Yet they've been implemented smoothly. Morale is high. Border defense is funded. The empire's borders are strengthened. The Wei capital. The Wei emperor eats a bun while reading this memorial. It's not simple. The Wei emperor puts down the memorial. Leaning on a pillar, he sighs. Below, the chancellor and vice-chancellor stand opposed. The Wei emperor is destined to be a great ruler. I, Wei, am destined to be the great ruler. I, great Wei, am destined to rule the world. The vice-chancellor says to Yuanzi. The chancellor nods in agreement. Now, among the 7 states, our Wei's power is flourishing. Our state's power is abundant. The state's power is unmatched, producing several wise kings. Among the 7 kingdoms, the Qian kingdom stands out. It is a truly remarkable nation. No other can compare to us. Is that so? The Wei kingdom has long been a threat. The Qian kingdom has fallen into decline. The Shui kingdom has also fallen into decline. That kingdom is nothing special, but with such small changes, progress continues. Even the Jiangnan region gives us strength. Then my brother, a peaceful nation. The Wei kingdom holds a strategic advantage. He spoke as if joking. But both ministers knew this was no joke. In the eyes of this Wei king, reform is the path to strength. Among the 7 kingdoms of blood and steel, only the Wei king can achieve constant reform. And that newly ascended, inexperienced ruler, Qian king, could stir the cabinet's caution. The current national fortune is at its peak. The outcome is already decided. The Eastern factory refines the ultimate martial art, the Chow-piercing fist. The Miao Dike factory refines the ultimate martial art, the Chow-piercing fist. My eyebrows are furrowed in confusion. My head is pounding with pain. Then he investigated the matter thoroughly. The Miao Dike factory can train eunuch officials so that they can be used. In this palace, you will find many loyal people. In this palace, you will find only loyal people. They can ensure their own safety. I do not like conflict. Though I have mastered a great martial art, modern people do not fight, right? The martial arts of this world are all different. There are 4 major classifications. Most of the Jianghu are at the lowest level. The land-grade weapons are used by the court. The land-grade weapons are owned by the court. If a major martial arts school Laijus leaks out, the martial world will surely stir up a storm. I fear they will create countless methods. This era's benefits are truly hard to enjoy. Even the imperial family can only achieve an antique flavor, cannot compare to later generations. I pondered continuously. Then I decided to build a factory here. The factory will be built within the city. Then we can begin production. Young master. I, Mi Xiaoxiao, have been promoted by the emperor. I, Mi Jie, have been promoted by the emperor. I will destroy the light within. You have a good method to ruin the nation's fortune. What is it that surpasses the Empress Dowager? Living a life of extravagance. And they all dislike thinking. Defeating the nation's fortune is not simple. I have never been content in life. There is no rush to take action. Shuang Hui Kuang, the young master has arrived. Are you willing to work for me? That is Shuang Hui's song Xian. Alright, then go to the factory. I am the first factory director. These are the eunuchs you will train to work. From now on, ensure the safety within the palace. Can your father train you? I said calmly. But don't force me to be so decisive. The entire supervisory board is not needed anymore. That factory will only open the nation's fortune. Indeed, Shuang Hui thanks your majesty. Little Fuzi knelt down excitedly. After this, little Fuzi arrived at the factory. Distant training attacks. Return key training attacks. Shuanghui will not disappoint the throne's high expectations. Xiaofu Zi has just begun studying martial arts. Xiaofu Siyuan has started studying forms. Xiaofu Yulang has begun studying martial arts. With this, the building emits some strange light. Xiaofu Yu. The building emits some strange light. Xiao Shuiyu. The speed suddenly increased by 100-fold. Second rate, first rate. In an instant, Xiaofu Yu's head was completely split open. In an instant, the student's head was completely split open. The speed startled everyone around. But after rising to first rate, Xing X du J Timi. But X du J Xiaomi. However, arriving at the master's place still requires some time. I will quickly report the establishment of the factory to the cabinet. Listen, this is a guard's palace training facility. The cabinet, listen, this is a guard's palace facility. The cabinet listens, this is a guard's palace training facility. The cabinet listens, this is a guard's palace facility. I will not say much more. Directly ask. Now the cabinet ministers are all in a new dispute. Don't have a new dispute just to kill. But when it comes down to it, it's definitely troublesome. Raise the status of martial artists. Raise the status of military officers. The cabinet side is indeed giving to the new. Covered by the fire officials martial arts area. Covered by the officials martial arts area. In the blink of an eye, some time had passed. The cabinet was busy for a long time. Finally settled. Kugan's face was rosy. These are all veteran generals within the cloth. They all sent invitations to invite them to dinner. Obviously, they are dissatisfied with the cabinet's actions. Kusher is determined not to take sole credit. Only speak of this settled full favor. Zhang Qiao is truly happy. He suddenly remembered a matter. Hastily pulled Kusher's sleeve. What are you doing? Kusher shook off. What are you doing? Kusher pushed away. Have you heard of it? Nearby rice. The emperor produced a fine basin. The palace produced a fine chest. This basin is 100 times better than what's on the market. It tastes sweet when eaten. Zhang Qiao, you should know this. I heard it was presented to His Majesty. Kusher understood. He also gave the minister quite a bit. When cooked at home, it tastes much better. Kusher was a bit proud. His own daughter is full of vitality. He is in the court, assisting the king alone. He stands above all but one. Head of men. He stands above all but others. A cat's paw strike. Could there be such a second? He is now mostly confused. No need to argue in court over this. Jiangnan is a region. I believe your majesty will soon move on Jiangnan. Let me see for you. Kusher thought of those Jiangnan officials and merchants. Their mutual support is a sticky mess. Let's begin. I thought those fine basins were hard to make. But isn't it idle time now? I have already gone down. If successful, this can be fully popularized. Zhang Qiao spoke up. This immediately provoked Kunyo, and the other cabinet ministers discussed it. Can be popularized. No need to spend too much money. Kusher was injured. Then why not promote it? Zhang Qiao let out a breath. Suddenly, the grand secretary's gaze sharpened. Ding, a moment of peace. The cabinet ministers began to discuss. Yi Yun, our dynasty has a problem. Tax evasion has made smugglers rich. Tax evasion has made merchants rich. Tax evasion has made smugglers rich. Forming a monopoly. Kusher spoke. Salt is an indispensable item. Right. I have a new tax reform plan. Kuzifu has foresight. Then go report to the emperor. Zhang Qiao said the cabinet is now united. Basically, they are all with Kusher. Thus, political views are mostly unified. Debt. It should be so. Kunyo has a beard. Although he is confident, he still needs to tet. If the emperor disagrees, it will be difficult. I will draft the proposal immediately. The cabinet ministers all got busy. They finalized many details. See, I looked at the memorial before me. The old man awaits that law. Open the official room. Empress, what do you think? I dare not presume to comment. Just say it. You must have given the treasury to the smugglers. You must have drained the treasury for the smugglers. Therefore, I ask you to look at this official merchant. Ku Bianen said cautiously. I cautiously withdrew my gaze from her. Ku Bianen could not say it directly. You, Ku Bianen, could never say it directly. A court lady. Ancient society is like this. Not good. What about you? Xiao Fu Yu. At this moment, Xiao Yunzi. At this moment, Xiao Yunyu. His entire spirit and energy are off. But I'm not concerned about such small details. Xiao Shi, using Wan Ku as an advisor. This move is unwise. Xiao Fu Yu said. As soon as these words were spoken, it immediately made Ku Bianen shudder. It immediately made Ku Bianen unable to help but sneer. It immediately made Ku Shonu glare at him. Xiao Fu Yu pretended not to see. He had been in the court for a long time. Your Majesty established the factory. It was to let him manage the safety of the palace and many other matters. To repay your kindness. The best way is to do what you are supposed to do. The best method is to do what you must do. And to determine your own position. Recognize and determine your own position. Some things he can do, but he cannot do them. Now the factory's power is growing foolishly. Now the factory. Its power is slowly rising, but Xiao Yunzi constantly reminded himself. But Fu Yu constantly reminded himself. He could not get involved in the palace's internal affairs. He only belonged to the emperor. Therefore, even if Ku Bianen was favored, he had to turn a blind eye. Speak when it's time to speak. There are things that must not be said. I have a question to ask. Is it the trusted advisor on your side who said it? Or is it the trusted advisor on your side who said it? Now, in my consciousness, I have seen Kusher's power as a minister. His crimes have already polluted countless things. Then naturally, handle this matter properly. Kuzifu's handling of official duties is always for the benefit of the court. If this item leaks out, it could break the monopoly the merchants currently hold, creating turmoil that is not conducive to peace. Xiao Yuzi said, nonsense. He truly does not see this move as unwise. But he has become the factory's eunuch. He must firmly establish his loyalty to the emperor. The palace must build a granary with fixed cores and cloth. So he proposed proposed a wind-based opinion. Then he spoke some flattering and soothing reasons. After that, he quickly went to the city market. Xiao Fuzi now practices martial arts with a headache. Xiao Fuzi now practices martial arts with a lizard. At this moment, he said he wouldn't use a single penny. That person said he wouldn't use a single penny. That person said he wouldn't use a single penny. Blood price moved Xiao Fuzi's words. Blood heard Xiao Fuzi's words. I forced a pass. Move and se poverty. Turmoil and se poverty. Indeed. Zhuang Bu Dan Xian interrupted the soup's piece. Zbu Dan Xian will hit the soup's imbalance. Gbu Dan Xian Kong interrupted the soup's piece. Ha that settled you, sir. Ha that settled you, sir. I follow a pass. Your Majesty. All clear. Xuanhui thinks of the route. Xiao Fuzi is now paying respects. Fear rises. Let's go. I have nothing to say. Receive female rice. I speak, you write. The Grand Secretariat has received the memorial. A group of cabinet ministers surround. A group of ministers surround. The refined thieves provide kuzifu with private merchants. The cabinet ministers are blocking. After Wanka's flight, Wanka flies away. Zhang Qiao freezes with a bow. Ku Tianren, your Majesty, the General Dragon. The head moon lets the laborers rest. The others have reacted. Things retreat and think. Your Majesty, how can this fixed law work? For private merchants, but this private merchant must settle Kusher's people. Goo, say less of these words. The servant elder is almost drunk. The servant elder is almost floating. Kusher haha, a pass. Then the spirit spreads widely. Mi Pa Chuan, research and study. What is the imperial sword doing? Why not attack the merchant officials? Ikwai Le Chiao Dan Du opens her mouth. I think we should cut our losses. I think I will forget the cut. Your Majesty, the matter of private rice must be handled. Do not let me interfere in the private merchant's essay of the plan. There is no need to force a child to eat meat. Bloody mess. This refined system is a dimensional strike. It is basically a one-push move. Then the other merchants need not do anything. The market SE will all be eaten up. So that is how it is. Grand Secretary Tan suddenly understood. Grand Secretary Tan smiled and suddenly understood. This man is the Minister of Revenue. Before I ascended the throne, he was on the same front as Kusher. He was among the merchants in the region. Now it is even harder to talk. This is even harder to talk about. I will go tomorrow. Your Majesty is young, yet he harbors great ambition to rule the world. But it is not. This is one point. Establishing official merchants to buy rice will impact the market. It will force those merchant dogs to jump the wall. Your Majesty, you should not do this because of this. Then there is the first point. After Tan spoke, he understood. Open an ugly official merchant. Many purple joys. What do people and things need? But in reality, as soon as these words were spoken, the other grand secretaries were also enlightened. Kusher shook his head and sighed. My previous single new. Quickly separate the single new. The money is almost all spent. Now we look to your Majesty for relief. Where is Yunsha's family allowance? Yi Yun Tan spoke after understanding. Not enough money. It is decided. This item is not as good as directly giving a method. This brother should hand it over to the law. Then let the private merchants transport rice to the palace. I will sit back and watch the money. That's right. Kusher patted the skyboat. This system cannot be issued without reason. There is a time for stability and money, but it cannot be a one-time thing. Yi Yin Tan cooperates. Tan Wen Ho Tong. Tan Jiao Ho Tong. Mother is ugly. Using this system to make rice is fine and beneficial. How much was sold? 50% belongs to the national treasury. Then, dispatch the agricultural guards to follow up constantly. If there is corruption, behead and confiscate property. Kusher's eyes are bright. Kusher himself. Confiscated property. Kusher himself. According to the investigation, the time is quiet. According to the investigation, the time is different. Set some plans to flash. Mi Pa Sun Dan Tai Ji. Ma Gong can start this new batch. The cabinet members discussed it. Made a decision to assist the powerful minister. Made a decision to assist the favored minister. Deduct the national fortune IUU point. The cabinet members are healthy IU lifespan. I looked at the memorial on the road before leaving the palace. Not necessarily. Kusher started the knife. He gave so much time to the knife. Not directly giving Kusher goods. Each one is oily or not. Not directly giving Kusher goods. Each one leaks more or less. My heart is clear. Since Kusher is sent to deal with private merchants, then profit from it. What is official commerce? Let the treasury have new income. The national fortune is unstable. When Cha can gain such trust. Minister and Xingwen thanks the throne for your grace. Minister and Ji Wen Dong thanks the throne for your grace. Your servant and Xingwen requests an audience. Your servant and Rong Han thanks your majesty. That cat has no fire to spare. That one has no way to quell the fire. Empress, no need for this. It is my duty. I hold everyone in my heart. I see everyone in my heart. X begins a life of grain. 1 begins a life of licorice. Tooth after tooth, batch after batch, tooth after tooth, person after person. Can I enjoy this moment? Endure quickly, hold back. This. 1 tube serves in a poor little house. 1 tube serves in a poor little womb. I take 1 tube and see a knife raised in a poor little character. Right, little character. Fear, little character. Hep Pi blade, how powerful. Reporting to your majesty. Shuanghui is already recruiting people. They are already training people. Crazy. That Hep Pi Blade's duty is to expand the palace. Control everything in this palace. You must not be killed in the palace. I now have martial skills budding, but still, that saying, to lie comfortably. Why all this killing? Right, your majesty's words. Shuangbei will never let that happen. Shuanghui will never let that happen. Unless the guests have Shuanghui's body passed and heard my words. The little womb slapped down. The little character slapped down. The little womb slapped down once. Rise now. I, the official, believe you. Thank you, your majesty. The Zhang family of thieves. The prince of the Dang family is in pain, sitting in the prime minister's mansion. I wonder what the prime minister wants from me. Zhang Yong laughs heartily. Kusher chuckled and closed the door. You brought that exquisite basin, didn't you? One precaution, then close the door. Ah, pain. One imitation, then close the door. One precaution, then close the door. But none can compare to the current Grand Secretary. Frankly, the two families have no interest in this new benefit. Welcome. I already have a plan in mind. But when the Wen family letter arrived, it made me investigate thoroughly. Let's give it a try. This. 11 people. I feel a bit uneasy. The netizens have a meeting in their hearts. Zhang Zhao's face showed a sudden SOC. My lord. Afterwards, Kusher took another exquisite basin. This is a fixed benefit. This is a fixed salt. Seal it. Zhang Tong offered a plan from the left. At this moment, how could he have fallen to such a worthless state? Grand Secretary Gong. Ah, Grand Secretary. If you have something to say, just say it. Your Majesty, this pregnancy. You surely didn't just summon me to name the child. I will go meet the basin with a sincere heart. I will go meet the salt with a sincere heart. Lu Ming. Kusher chuckled and took a sip of tea. He stated his own terms. This matching force can be given to you, but the money from the ZO will split it 50-50. The ugly ministers all gathered to discuss the key points of the farming season. The officials of the Imperial Household Department went to audit the accounts. How about it? Thus, he won the ticket to return home. Zhang Xiao spoke and then tentatively asked, has that basin merchant not contacted you yet? Good. Within 7 days, the moon will return. Zhang Xiao said nothing and immediately settled it. Kusher has a clear shadow. A cheerful pass. The plan went smoothly. The world suspects the brocade guard is hiding something. The brocade guard spreads news. In the midst of difficulty, this family is good, considering the brocade guard's jurisdiction. After Kusher's intention, I personally inspected the grain merchant's goods. Finally settled on this grain merchant. At this time, within the capital, the grain merchants are rampant. Their agents will try various methods to explore the secret of the grain. After 4 days, Zhang Xiao came to the mansion. Ding uses a reply. Still undecided, but still convinced. I will handle all the tea matters. Come to draw. Good. Come and sign. Kusher had a cheerful pass. After this, Zhang Xiao drew a loan. Since it's decided, how will this deal be negotiated? Then Zhang Xiao bowed and left. After a few days, Zhang Tong and Zhang Daxing arrived at the capital. Tonger, are you safe? Safe. Only a few. Why all the agreement? Still unofficial, but guarding the border city. Still unofficial, but guarding the 5 cities. Giving away a full 50%. You are still a bit short-sighted. Time to collect. This time, listen more. If not for me, you couldn't open it. If not for me, I couldn't get away. Originally, I had someone send it to the sky. Originally, I should have sent it without delay. The child knows that the thieves rely on the market, but it's settled. You've already said the price is fixed. Why not drink this time? No taboo. Listen to me slowly explain. Zhang Daxing. That one. Start discussing the current situation. Then mention the situation. Tet the current official sty. Tet the current emperor sty. Since I've decided, I'll speak slowly. Alright. Open official businesses. Seize market SE. All merchants will die. I beg you, decide or not. Father, I beg you, decide or not. This benefits the people. The court wouldn't do that, right? Zhang Xiao heard this and was somewhat stunned. Then he broke out in a cold sweat. If, as Lord Wen said, the court does that, then do these merchants have any means to resist? By then, new merchants will emerge. No need to buy from other families anymore. So from now on, trust me more. Trust me. I won't deceive you. Zhang Daxing and he spoke. He taught his successor carefully. This time, I'm bringing my heart. It's also our good luck. Not necessarily luck. Zhang Tong's tone. He knew his father had started to have something. Among all merchants, only his family directly helped the poor. Gave the refugees fry white steamed buns. Gave the refugees fry porridge. But doing business must be down to earth. Though not taking the merchant's wealth, he took their path. His father often taught him through his actions. He listened to his words and quickly got up. But these words were also deeply engraved in his heart. Unknowingly, Zhang Tong still looks at Lord Wen. Using Wen Ti as a model, what action to take? After 1,000 ugly ones, the Zhang family merchants' new basin debuted first. The Zhang family's new basin debuted second. The Zhang family merchants' new basin debuted third. In the capital city, they began selling new basins. The new basin became an instant hit. Everyone heard that the current emperor uses this basin. They immediately went crazy. I, a commoner, can eat such good food. But it's not particularly special goods. This merchant's business is bad, isn't it? Other families' basins are hard to eat. Other families' basins are extremely hard to eat. Even a dog wouldn't touch them. There's a man from the capital city. He actually bought the new basin in large quantities. The old basin is ignored by everyone. The other merchants had to urgently discuss countermeasures. The thieves gathered and fiercely discussed countermeasures. The merchants gathered and fiercely discussed countermeasures. Now it's clear that the Zhang family has a new basin. My goods can't be sold. What can be done? I heard this Zhang family cooperates with the Qing family. They gave a full 50% to the Qing family. 50%. Huh. Everyone here is smart. Now the farming season is approaching. Now the situation is changing. It's not suitable for us martial artists to act. Acting leads to death. I don't plan to play clever tricks. I'm already contacting the Zhang family. Approved. The contact is with the Zhang family, not the court. The Zhang family. Thank you for the guidance. They have their own skills. The Zhang family will prosper this time. The Zhang family is sure to prosper. All the merchants returned. 1 week later. Soon, all merchants began buying new goods. All the merchants in the capital started buying new goods. This is definitely a good deal. Kusher stroked his beard. He never expected the Zhang family could negotiate a 60% SE. Don't settle for a mere 10%. That's a huge profit. That's a massive profit margin. Buy now. Better than buying later. They are well informed. Their hearts are full of ambition. They actually gave us the negotiation rights. Zhang Daxing bowed respectfully. Don't waste time on trivial matters. This matter still depends on you merchants. Now, besides the Zhang family, the remaining merchants selling new goods will give 60% of the profit to the Qing family. This first month's income will already amount to thousands of silver taels. This is still not yet nationwide. Now all merchants are rushing to open new shops. The imperial court has issued a decree. Zhang Daxing bowed again. Actually, this time I came with an ulterior motive. The emperor wishes to open a new merchant shop. Zhang Daxing opened his mouth to speak. After the new shop opens, the increased profit, the emperor only wants 50%. If not, then don't accept this deal. Our Zhang family will compensate fully, adding another 10%. Hungry, Kusher became interested. This means the Zhang family is willing to open a new merchant shop. For example, originally, the Qing family's income was 1,000 silver taels daily. After Zhang's new shop opens, the opening revenue is 15,000 silver. That Zhang Shao alone earns 25,000 silver. And with the new order, if the revenue is under 10,000 silver, then the Dong family will compensate up to 500 silver. Neither left nor right. One season opens. One season closes. 1 year later, the Qing family's management emerges. I hope the Grand Secretary will promote it. Zhang Daxing is connected. Then he sends a generous gift. Kusher has unexpectedly set a trap for a jade horse. A model box. It's worth a fortune. Good. It's rare you have this thought. Kusher is punished. This benefits the court. This is a great response. This is a great investigation. Zhang Daxing returns home. Why did he do this? Zhang Xiao asks Tong. Don't ask. Just cling to the Qing family's thigh. This is a batch of goods. I now have a talent for revival under my command. Zhang Daxing has Qing and Lu's support. He bows and salute. Zhang Xiao speaks. But everything is settled. I can only cooperate. Alright. 1 year. I'll treat it as a grindstone. The Qing family opens a shop. Among the shops, there's a special item that counts down because its reaction speed is slow. But it can move on its own. Naturally, it's slow. Corrupt officials exchange this for peace. Sometimes officials only want goods. The Manhwa Geo completely doesn't understand. This Qing family shop's various systems are already outdated. This new order gives Zhang Shao a big stage. Due to the knife-shaped basin, the boron was rotten. For the next 10 years, the whole country began to introduce new basins. Guzwagong also started to rise. Kaichou has already set a private path for the month. Kaichou's key has set a private path for the month. Bring the new basin to the capital of the Gu kingdom. Bring the new benefit to the capital of the Shaogu kingdom. Absolutely opposed. In the black market, the price of the new basin is inflated to a high price. In the cover market, the price of the new benefit is inflated to a high price. Is there still a certain determination within the four? Is the blood flash pavilion still determined to be fixed? Living abroad, buying new basins and forming a discount. Selling abroad, buying new benefits and forming a discount. Hehe, the cloth is displayed. According to reason, this is 100 benefits with no harm. With this new basin, then the silver of the Gu kingdom. With this new theft, then the silver of the Gu kingdom. It flows loudly towards the Wheel kingdom. It flows loudly towards the Qian kingdom. But rejected. Ashe Ren has a speechless reply to the cloth display. The cloth display reply cannot be specifically stolen and sold to other countries. The imperial reply cannot be specifically stolen and sold to other countries. The festival reply cannot be specifically stolen and sold to other countries. This Liqiao Tu cloth display is this message. This Zhangqiao Kongda cloth decoration is this message. There is this basin madness. There is this benefit. The knife of our great Qian kingdom can be opened. Is it not that you are hiding? But how to hide it? The nobles of the 6 kingdoms basically know the defense. Tan Jiao Ho Ian. The black market is not something the court can control. Originally, this kind of selling to the whole country's basin. Every kingdom has its own private people, controlling the unique special products of each kingdom to be private to other countries, sold at a high price. Among them, the profit is at least doubled, and more can be multiplied by 1,000. Even the court has connections with some super private traders. Last time, Beiyan had a new invention. Last time, Zhao Rui used a new invention. Invented a kind of strong knife and long bow. The Qian kingdom relies on having private traders. From there it came. I say this kind of weapon is armed in the country's center, but private merchants can still get it. Kaichou sells it at a high price. It is indeed very powerful. If we don't report it, we won't make this money. Then let the private traders handle it. Kusher frowned and began to ponder. Kuqiancher frowned and began to ponder. Kusher frowned and began to think. The other cabinet ministers were also uneasy. Your Majesty, please consider. Your Majesty, please consider one thing. Is there a possibility? Your Majesty, you are suppressing private trade. Impossible, impossible. Zhang Xiao quickly stepped back. Now the great Qian dynasty is at peace with neighboring countries. With the second country, suppressing private trade is difficult. Suppressing private trade is extremely difficult. To put it bluntly, we also need the goods from these smugglers. Wait. After 10 AI, everything is gone. Let me speak. Is it possible that your majesty cooperates with smugglers? Cooperate with smugglers? We have been cooperating. Could Qiantong. Not to increase the difficulty. After 10 AI, one person went crazy. The ministers looked at each other, all afraid to speak. Your majesty might be cooperating with smugglers. Lie this time smuggling. To deal with the smugglers. Sure Yongging once had an attitude towards the patrol system. Sure me once had an attitude towards the patrol system. After Tanwen. But what is your majesty after? But what is the emperor after? Kunyojian. Why not just open new ports for mutual exchange? Mutual trade. The huge trade gap formed by the status of the new ports. That would be enormous profits. Enough to make our great will kingdom prosperous. Debt. What is he after? Tan Jishir frowned. Tan Jiashir frowned. Tan Jishir frowned. Wait a moment. One minister raised his hand. 6 ministers raised their hands. At this moment, 6 ministers conspire. This man was the Minister of Revenue, named Shenwu. This man is the Minister of Revenue, named Wan Shenwu. This man is the Minister of War, named Dao Shenwu. This man is the Minister of Revenue, named Dao Shenwu. Shen Tianren, please inquire. Kunyojian and Kuzifu speak. Kuqiantong and Kuzifu speak. Shen Shi takes a bow. Then he speaks. Is it possible that the fixed tax and private trade are nationalized, then sold to Shangli and Lu? Shangli and Lu. Zhang Xiao then says, the topic returns. Even if sold to other kingdoms outside the Central Plains. What about Beatty? What about Shangli? What about Liqiu? What about Nanyue? What about Laying? What about Nanyue? Why don't those kingdoms do it themselves, but let those small private merchants do it? This Shenwu is completely stumped, unable to answer. In this cabinet, the last minister is the director of the Waterways Bureau in the Ministry of Works. This man remains silent. Zhao Yang speaks up here. I think we should follow what Tan Jishir said earlier. It's about the fixed tax and private trade. It's about the fixed tax and smuggling. Tan Xiaobo's and salute. Kushir. What do you think? Because of the new basin-making method, if you don't export it, it will be controlled and flow to other kingdoms, controlled by them. That so-called new basin is just a common item in every kingdom at a fair price. It's just a 10-price basin used in every kingdom. The old minister knows the basin-making method. It's not difficult. I dare say, the current emperor is lenient on this, but you are so clever with such words. My heart will not accept your basin-making method, which is flawed, but it's not impossible to develop it. It's better to say the principle is easy to understand. With our great Qian's agricultural guard, the basin-making method won't be lost. The Jingnong guard can monitor all basin-making sites nationwide. As I just mentioned, the brocade guard's protective measures have been thoroughly considered. The brocade guard's protective measures are already in place. Zhao Yang spoke up. There is a fixed time for the use of the knives. Even if it were lie your majesty's case, even if it were lie the emperor's case, do not count on selling to other kingdoms. Only private merchants can benefit from the situation. Then the merchant-controlled salt market will have fewer and more. The brocade guard's knives can be used at any time. For a whole month, there is only one salt market. If the court announces a ban on selling new salt to other kingdoms, then it will inevitably cause the salt market to open large salt fields, because it must meet export demand. But if the court does not do that, the salt market will then be controlled by officials. The Grand Secretary has some concerns. But even so, within a few years, the new salt-making method will spread to other kingdoms. Zhao Yang continued speaking. Your humble servant dares to speculate. Your Majesty, what is your plan for this city? In the private market, the fine salt can be sold at a high price. At a low price, the situation is favorable. We must ensure the amount does not decrease. Open exports to buy salt. If the quantity is large, the price per pound of salt will be low. This low price is relative. If only private merchants buy salt. If the quantity is small, the price per pound of salt will be several times higher. For a whole month, we must ensure the amount does not decrease. This is the key point. Zhao Yang finished speaking. Take Lian's time to settle. I can only rely on this one training. Establish a private merchant system. It's been a full 1,000 years. Take this private merchant's blade. Use the heavenly system. It can center on private merchants. Learn of the kingdom's news. Bean transformation. Fen discourse. Use reason and evidence. The ministers in the cabinet felt moved. Your Majesty is wise. Kushir bowed from afar to the Empress Dowager. Zhao Yang speaks with reason. Zhang Xiao understands. But I still suggest, submit a memorial to the emperor. The Minister of Works submits a memorial. Is there any doubt in your heart? Is there any forgetfulness in your Majesty's heart? It should be so. Zhao Yang spoke up. Decided. One portion goes to the harem quickly. One portion goes to the rear quickly. One portion goes to the harem quickly. I have quickly received a discount. Don't start a fight. I cannot possibly open a new basin. Isn't that just beating the big cat and Sky Cat's export money? Isn't that just earning the Sky Cat's export money? Isn't that just exploding the big cat and Sky Cat's export money? Let the minister consider what you mean. The smuggling quota. Win over private merchants. Suppress the others in one go. Suppress the rest in one go. Private merchant. Why do it this way? I have some things I don't understand. Suddenly a flash of inspiration struck me. So that's how it is. Collusion between officials and merchants. Officials and private merchants cooperate, don't they? Isn't it natural for corruption to occur? I have a plan. This is proposed by all the cabinet ministers together. Haha, that's not right. Sure enough, it is not a man. The cabinet ministers all set rules for the people. You are truly worthy. Kushir, prepare the force. I do not directly ask for thought. Review the memorials. At this moment, I suddenly recall a matter. In history, there was once a blade. This is exactly how officials are used. The world is set with a dragon crown. It is also set with a dragon crown. But what of it? but recognizing goods and officials is one thing. If used, is there a possibility that the harem could catch fire? If this is the case, it is different. If this is the case, is it still considered? If this is the case, it is different. The nation's fortune can be ruined in any way. There must be a way to make the harem submit. I fear that Xiaoyu will speak of me. Double glory. The time for power to rise. All eunuchs in the harem are under your control. I believe you will not disappoint me. If there is something blind within, the heavenly court will begin its plan. Double glory, child. I will not let your majesty down. Xiaoyu will appear immediately. Xiaoyu is not far. He has followed me since childhood. This trust should be well placed. How can we protect the dragon brothers? Protect the nation's fortune. Xiaoyu's martial insight has improved. The distance reaches 3 months. Current national fortune is 86. Xiao Bai Wangdan takes the pill. I have many pills to distribute. Do not let the harem be chaotic. He once served as the head of the water. First, the great army advances to the harem. This LV Fen cannot be messed with. The patrol cannot be messed with. Otherwise, the common people will be implicated. The rest is nothing to worry about. Oh, right, Xiao Yunzi. LV Fen, double the patrols. I agree. Shuang Hui, thank you. Xiao Yu, now. Xiaofu Yudan, now. Ding. They indulge in extravagance. National fortune, 5 UU. The treasury has been drained. The treasury has been emptied. Current national fortune, 855 UU points. The end is near. Defeating the national fortune is simple. It can be done casually. What kind of assassination is this? Spending money is easy. Even a child knows how to spend money. Spend and squander. The national fortune is declining. Foolishly ruining the national fortune. Slowly ruining the national fortune. I am at your service. It's not something anyone can touch. Buying forbidden items. Buying what is not allowed. That is the real crime. The national fortune has been renewed. A new path is born. How can there be opportunity without money? Opportunity comes with money. So Jiang Hongshi is following this matter. But he has not succeeded. If the court agrees to meet him at a restaurant in Xiqing, this place is blocked. One day, only this month. Master Jiang Hong, please. I dare not. Master Jiang Hong, take a seat. Master Sha Hong, take a seat. Surrounded on all sides. Tan Jiao Ho Zhang Qiao. All are from the cabinet. Of course, the cabinet has been under Kusher's control. This one, and Qiao. It's definitely a grand display. Jiang Hongshi is scheming. Xiong Tong once had a private meeting with the current ruler. Lai, a new emperor ascending the throne. Now the new emperor has ascended. He has begun to govern the court. Some claim the Empress Dowager won't attend morning court, but in reality, wise people know. In the court, there's generally a single faction ruling. They mutually restrain the emperor's power to maintain stability. However, a single dominant faction isn't necessarily a bad thing. Because the imperial decree's authority has greatly increased. And Qiao has a fundamental flaw. Now, the nation's blade is drawn. I know that shop owner won't attend morning court. I know that shop owner, LV, won't attend morning court. The matter isn't that simple. Don't be anxious. Zhang Qiao Guandao. It's precisely the early court's cowardice. It's precisely the early court's forbearance. Haha, it's precisely the early court's understanding. Jiang Hongshi bows, not knowing what the early court has to say. Enough. We are discussing business. Discuss the matter. A birthday. That is a grand birthday. It's better to let Jiang Hongshi suffer a bit. New benefits. Fearful. Tan Tianho gives a sly smile. I don't know. You can consider that private disciple as a temporary ambition. This Jiang Hongshi swallows his saliva. This Jiang Hongshi swallows. Now, new benefits are forcing the pack good. Smuggling to other countries. Then you can buy it at a lower price. How much will you give me? Is it just me alone? Jiang Hongshi, the cabinet recommended you, a small official. Kusher said meaningfully. On one hand, you define the nation. On the other hand, your scale is vast. Can you take a loss? Waiting to determine the factory. In an instant, Jiang Hongshi's heart stirred. He knew this was a profit. As a poor man's nature, made his eyes red. But Jiang Hongshi said with great hesitation, I am just a humble poor man. If I'm too biased, killing one country, then the future path won't be good. Rest assured, it's not about taking women. From now on, just do it properly. Kusher said with concern. Actually, Jiang Hongshi only felt his mouth dry, heart racing, harder than meeting a goddess. Qiao Bai, Zhang Qiao gave a paper with many concepts. Then allow me to take a look. Jiang Hongshi looked at the content on the paper. He immediately knew there would be no more losses. Impossible to lose. Profits could at least triple 30 times. If done right, it could flip 50 times. When done right, it could flip 50 times. The poor man will sell the rope tightly tied to the mouth. This is a shame. The cabinet's vehicle list is basically underway. 11. The military officer's unprecedented bath. Because the military officer's treatment improved, many officials are now better off. Additionally, worth mentioning is the establishment of the curtain. The established festival has created joy. The Mio Dike factory has considerable influence in the palace. All surge in, but now too many are watching. Now being watched by many. It is the so-called new benefit. The Qian Kingdom cabinet issued a decree to ban new benefit exports. The Shinchou order guards the farm and controls the benefit market. Merchants from the other 6 kingdoms heard the news. Goods flow to the Milk Kingdom. Young goods flow to the Qian Kingdom. Trying to promote mutual benefit, but all merchants buying new benefits in Qian Kingdom keep the control method completely secret. They signed the so-called agreement. Lie, a family leaking the control method. That would bring destruction to the whole family, unless it is allowed. On the black market of the kingdoms, a family secretly controls the trade. Most of the new benefits are sold inside, and the remaining private merchants try to smuggle new benefits. But most are intercepted by Qian Kingdom's brocade guard. The smuggled new benefits are not many, because only this one family has it. The other 6 kingdoms, nobles all sent people to expand this family's smuggling route, not letting the route leak out. After using the new benefit, the original benefit is no longer needed. The difference begins. In the difference, current national fortune 85 UU product. Corn seeds, potato seeds, and fertilizer production methods. Advanced construction work boo. Debt. I have seen new vegetables in the house. I have concerns about new vegetables in the milk house. Spider blade. DG4AA. Give the cat seeds to let it plant. All construction work naturally governs all kinds of buildings. Deeply stupid, not a special system. All the houses are peaceful. He crossed into this world and adapted quickly. The world is slow to adapt. Occasionally, you recall modern diverse crops. You recall modern diverse vegetables and that modern style architecture. I have to say, though, life in ancient times is a bit rough, sleeping on beds and such. It's not comfortable at all, and the days are long. After that, I hired these builders. They started working right away, hoping to create buildings better than modern ones. I was furious. These builders quickly made some decent buildings, 1,000 times better than others. What materials do we have? Bamboo and wood. Modern style. Continue. I started spending money continuously. The money can't come from the treasury. I already said that. The inner treasury is overflowing with silver. We should spend some. So I spent a lot to hire skilled craftsmen and improve the treatment of craftsmen in Qian Kingdom. A workshop was established. Craftsmen in the workshop create new products for Qian Kingdom. Gather craftsmen to make new goods for Qian Kingdom. Gather craftsmen to create new products for Qian Kingdom. Some of these were leaked abroad. In the homes of other officials, craftsman families in the kingdom began to follow Qian's style. Craftsman families in Qian Kingdom began to follow Qian's style. Craftsman families in the kingdom began to follow Qian's style. Wei Kingdom's capital. Wei's officials looked at the items before them. They had beards. This is the so-called Qian style. It's quite clean and profitable, isn't it? Wei's official commented. Less solemn, not quite elegant. Water flows smoothly. Hearing about these Qian-style furniture, the envoy said. Kuma Yuan spoke. The craftsman's status is not yet settled. The Wei official sighed. First, promote the military's status. Then, promote the craftsman's status. And this new smuggling is no simple matter. The Wei official understood. 2 officials bowed to each other. The official sat on a chair, with a calm expression. Qian Kingdom, Jiangnan, a crescent moon, 8 heavenly blessings. Listed as the Ji family. Do not list the Ji family, the Shi family, the Xiao family, the Shi family, the Xiao family, the Tu family, the Jiang family, the Lu and 8 families. Each family is wealthy. Officials collude. They are prominent families locally. All 8 families gathered together. The table was full of rare delicacies, fragrant. Listening to the head of the big family discuss matters. The head of the Ji family spoke first. Rumor has it that the big family has countless gold. Gold filled the vault to overflowing. The garden was built like a fairyland. The head of the Shi family coldly interrupted. We are not here to argue. Today, the 8 families gather here. Let's open the window and speak plainly. Today, let's just chat. Let's just chat. What about the star tree? The head of the 8 families is better. Since the words are spoken, let's be clear. Then I'll throw out a brick to attract jade. I thought the new basin method was stolen. Establish pot shops in other kingdoms. Establish benefit shops in other kingdoms. The Zhang family head said. Good blade technique. But now the brocade guard is poor. This matter needs careful discussion. This is no simple matter. All officials south of the river send tribute to the imperial court. A mere brocade guard cannot be trusted with rice. Since we've agreed, let's add some force. Pay a price. As long as it can suppress the new cloth revenue, then that's enough. Monthly. In the darkness, the assassins had a big plan. Then they charged toward the workshop in a bloody rage. A moment later, a stream of blood. These 10 or so streams of blood were sharp, extremely powerful blade force, extremely terrifying force. It can be said that in the entire martial world, it's hard to gather such a blade. It can make any sect instantly rise again. A cold blade suddenly appeared. Just a few seconds later, the brocade guard in flying fish suits suddenly drew their spring knives. Then they fought back. The assassins were shocked to be discovered so quickly, but they hesitated for a moment. Kill them. Hundreds of brocade guards surrounded them. The assassins soon felt something was wrong. These brocade guards' martial arts were good, but what was going on in the fight? It was a one-sided battle. The assassins had planned to break in. Even if discovered, they could rely on their martial arts, fight their way in alone, but the other side was prepared. These brocade guards are truly formidable. My heavens! The sound of battle cries rang out. The assassins were gradually surrounded and killed. Many brocade guards also fell. The brocade guards fought fiercely in the bloodbath. The captain looked at the corpses on the ground. His face cold, he said. His Majesty spared no lives for your honor. He rushed to his comrades. Are there any survivors? Report. Not a single one survived, but they were captured by us. A brocade guard reported immediately. A brocade guard reported and was interrogated. The captain said. Interrogate them. It's the struggle among the 8 families south of the river. Pusher said. Li Feng slapped the table. Since they dare to provoke us, let's kill them. These traitors. Zhang Qiao said excitedly. The news spread, alarming the 2 major families. These 8 families are probably all ready. They'll cut off the tail to save the body. Kushur nodded. Those shrewd people, they definitely won't leave any evidence. Cutting off the tail to save the body. Tanjiao's family was sacrificed. Not necessarily. Your Majesty has received the latest news. Yet they still encountered obstacles. But this is our duty to relieve His Majesty's worries, Kushur said. This time, the brocade guards were able to defend the attack of those 17 first-rate masters. This is truly astonishing. We all underestimated the brocade guard. This is a matter of life and death. Shuefeng frowned. Yunfeng frowned. Yet the brocade guard is under the command of the throne. But we all know these years the brocade guard has wandered. But we all know these years the brocade guard has drifted. It no longer has its former prestige. The throne ascended only a few years ago. Why is the brocade guard so formidable? I don't know, but I know the brocade guard must be strong enough. Then the throne's authority is unshakable, Kushur said. The cabinet minister's confidence is firm. Kushur himself decided to investigate the corrupt officials in Jiangnan. Let the brocade guard gather in Jiangnan to maximize this force. Kushur was furious. His eyes seemed to blaze with fire. The assassin's attack was no small matter. In fact, the kingdom's spies have been doing this all along. After the drink, the target was the 8 great merchants of Jiangnan, inviting so many first-class merchants. Kushur was originally celebrating the Jiangnan officials, not praising them, but targeting the corrupt ones. Now there's only one thought in his mind. That is to smash the 8 families of Jiangnan. The cabinet ministers bowed. I am willing to walk this new path with Lord Ku. The court's upright officials, Lord Ku, immediately take action, launch an impeachment against the Jiangnan officials. But in reality, like Kushur's madman-like strategy, it is simply arbitrary. Once the impeachment is issued, it doesn't care about rules, directly disregarding decorum. He has already ordered the brocade guard to raid homes. In the court, no one dares to oppose Kushur. Opposing Kushur, one by one, all will lose their official posts. But now the court is in chaos. But now the court is in turmoil. Many officials secretly had their own plans. Many officials secretly had their own schemes. At night, someone rode a fast horse out of the city to report what happened to the Jiangnan officials. Unfortunately, they were caught by the brocade guard and interrogated. Unfortunately, they were caught by the brocade guard and tortured. It turns out, the Jiangnan merchants actually spent a huge sum to bribe the officials of the 11 branches to have them spread the news. Now, these officials have been transferred to the 1,000 households. Lord Ku, I was momentarily confused. Please spare me, my lord. I did nothing. I only spread the news. That official was terrified. He knelt down and begged. Lord Ku lifted him up. You really did nothing? If you did, you can confess now. But don't you know those merchants' methods of resisting the court? They use great benefits. Just for some information, at this point, they will probe and lower your bottom line, making you start collecting small bribes and then bigger ones. Once it becomes leverage, you have to become one of those corrupt officials. I beg Lord Ku to spare me. Tomorrow, pack up and head to Jiangnan. Many officials there will need your help. If you make merit, you can return to court. Thank you, Lord Ku. The 8 great families of Jiangnan gathered. Hua, the head of the Zhang family, slammed the table. Making you teach people to be stingy. Are you satisfied now? The brocade guard are not to be trusted. Our family will be safe if we produce a first-rate craftsman. That's settled among the 8 families. Then kill all those brocade guards. Now is not the time for conflict. There's no point in discussing this anymore. The Ji family head says. You must think about what you should do now. My men have no news. The Lu family head says. The brocade guard are flooding into Jiangnan. What about the officialdom there? I haven't received any news either. No news has come. This matter should have reached the capital by now. Yet there is no news. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Prepare for the worst. If not, the grain transport will be cut off. It is said the emperor is incompetent. Heaven's wrath descends. After several years, the brocade guard arrived in Jiangnan. The court issued an order to investigate several Jiangnan official families. The entire family was executed. They seized 50,000 taels of silver. At the same time, the canal's waters turned turbulent. A golden box appeared. The people opened the golden box. Inside was a letter. It said the current emperor is incompetent, causing the dragon's fury. After that, 10 grain transport ships sank into the water. All the grain transport workers drowned. For a time, people were anxious. Years later, the grain transport rebelled. The grain transport stopped. The grain transport guild is a faction. Its members are mostly common people relying on grain transport. They lie on the grain transport. That is the guild's foundation. That is the grain transport guild's foundation. And the transport stopped. Countless people lost their livelihoods, and unrest erupted. The news spread to the capital city. The rebellion has already begun. Kushur, what now? These bastards. Ku, the assistant minister. There's a scholar named Zhu Liqiao here, Your Majesty. There's a scholar named Zhou Liqiao here, Your Majesty. There's a scholar named Zhu Liqiao here, Your Majesty. We can only ask the emperor to decide. Shuefeng has arrived. Hurry and decide. When the assassins came to me, it was urgent. I know the cabinet has already acted against the Jiangnan officials. A major decision has finally been made. I feel uneasy. The woman in my arms suddenly walked to a corner. Your servant dares not speak rashly. What use is it? Lop is nothing but a distraction. Little do they know the Jiangnan officials collude. Eliminating them is not difficult. The grain transport is the nation's lifeline. It cannot be disrupted. And the grain transport is the nation's lifeline. It cannot be disrupted. Good. Rise. I do not blame you, Assistant Minister Ku. In my opinion, Kushur, those corrupt officials are nothing. It's just the money from confiscating their properties and the power gained from it. The cabinet's memorial is very detailed. It mentions the huge wealth from confiscated properties. It also mentions that after those Jiangnan officials were investigated, the officials of the Ku family line have gone to that side. I put down the memorial. He did so many wrongs. How could he not be punished? It has come to this today. Speak frankly. I wonder if there is some loneliness. Why did a gold sop appear in the grain transport route? There's a purpose behind that gold sop. Gold and electricity are absurd. This is so ridiculous. I grew up under the red flag without culture. I grew up under the red flag without superstition. This situation is extremely awkward. Can't help but sigh, thinking, Luo Nu. Mi Fu says you right. Kushonu Dingwa Mi. Dispatch vehicles to quickly find me Du Chi Xiabiyu. Must quickly find me Du Hui Fa Xiayun. Record the madman who killed Xiabiyu. The madman who killed Xiabiyu was born. Don't kill those who rely on Xiayun. 3. Don't kill those who rely on Piu Yun. I coldly said. He only has the chia of quick success. Diao can make the history good. The entire grain transport guild. Let's settle these arrangements today. Use that bamboo gold paper tea rice to move the people. Gai Se Hui. Bu Pai. Don't you understand the safety of the madman guy? Don't you understand the safety and gold content of the madman Jiao? Don't you understand the safety of the madman guy? Don't you understand the safety and gold content of the madman Jiao? He show nu shi eti. Is this really good for the people? Bian Nu Yuan Shao. He trained no one for that poor Xiabiyu. Then it's not the people. Good people won't join Gai Se Yun. Good people won't join Gai Se Hui. Good people won't join Ma Se Yunshur. Good people won't join the black market. Kuluo Nu Ri Lu Guan. Hurry up and say you don't understand. In short, these factions are not good things. Only one country can be trusted. Only the court can be relied upon. Under the seat, Ku Bian and Yu He Yushur de Jun. Under the seat, Ma Bian and Yu He Dianju de Nua. There is Mizwa Jingding Kuai Ding Yi Zhen Hu Men. I never thought the methods would be so cruel. I sat down, feeling so helpless and miserable. I hope nothing goes wrong. Kushonu is trembling. Kushoan is trembling too. 100. Hurry up. It has reached the cabinet ministers. It has reached the Minister of Rights. It has reached the cabinet ministers. The ministers have seen this memorial. The printing press is ready. He is here. He is here. It came to this during the Qia rebellion. Zhang Qiao exclaimed, Your Majesty, this is. Shuefeng felt suspicious. All previous ones were killed by a knife. Even officials and merchants cannot separate. To avoid provoking a backlash from the merchants, the ministers are discussing. Suddenly, Kushur spoke up. Your Majesty, what do you think? Please enlighten me. Kushur. All the ministers are in agreement. Forcibly suppressing this will only add fuel to the fire. In fact, the ministers all want to advise you to reconsider. I hope Your Majesty will withdraw the order. In my opinion, this is Your Majesty's determination to clean up Jiangnan. Kushur said. But cleaning up Jiangnan doesn't require such force. It makes the people turn against each other. Zhang Qiao was displeased. That's why I am so anxious. I'm afraid even the horses and soldiers will be infected by this new trend. Kushur's household has risen up. Kushur's household has been destroyed. Throughout history, reform has never been without bloodshed. Now, Jiangnan is rife with collusion between officials and merchants, and corruption. The 8 families control the economy and can even influence the court. Is this what you want to see? Is this what Your Majesty wants to see? Kunya was impassioned. Let us use our power. Let me accomplish a great deed this day. I order you to stand on this platform. I can retreat. Don't you all have a reputation? I have a reputation. Make the ministers' bodies tremble. Zhang Qiao let out a long breath. He bowed deeply. That path leads to the end. Even if the end holds my death. I entered the cabinet through heaven's will. Zhao Yang stroked his beard. A craftsman has no culture. I know the kingdom will fall. Can you distinguish right from wrong? Don't make trouble with that sample. Don't ask about that sample. Cho Tan spoke up. Your Highness, the knife-wielding general will meet you. Your Highness, the knife-wielding general will treat you. The Tim's morale changed. The staffing issue is resolved. Perhaps this is the right time. Then mobilize the Tim. The ministers have no choice but to obey the emperor's order. He drafted it immediately. Mobilize the Tim to suppress the grain transport rebellion. Think of one place. Loyal to one place. Full of surprise. The court officials are corrupt. How did it come to this? The 8 families have stopped shipping. The 8 merchants have stopped shipping. Now only a few thousand people have risen. This is using the Tim. There will be bloodshed. This is the cabinet's sole decision. Many officials immediately visited the cabinet ministers, asked about the situation, but was told His Highness is resting this month. Many benevolent ministers cannot bear it. Many benevolent ministers cannot bear to see this. Then contact the minister who reads fortunes. The brocade guard speaks. I have something stored at Kushoan's place. Later, many things become colorful, but everything is still with the heavens. I am now in a state of panic. The palace treasury has so much gold and silver it can't hold it. And the craftsmen create modern styles. The construction makes me linger and forget to return. And Cho Tan, the eunuch, is truly talented. It makes me very happy. This joy, perhaps you will add to it. This joy, perhaps you will nurse it. This joy, perhaps you will add to it. Yet it allows eunuchs and women to have various disguises. Under my investigation, some women have already started writing novels. I truly seek a partner. I truly seek a cat. Rules are interesting. The final plus. I went to give rice to the Empress Dowager. I went to give rice to the Empress Dowager's palace. The curtain has a heart. But isn't it good to skip court? Yet the Empress Dowager barely looks at me. Yet the Empress Dowager is not my birth mother. The late emperor's son. The emperor's people are scattered. In my generation, there is only him as a son. You have 2 girls and 1 boy. In total, there are only 4 princes and princesses. I don't know how the late emperor fought. I don't know how the late emperor died. How did the consort die in childbirth? At the time of the increase, it was directly aborted. For this, I only want to think of a way out. When I crossed over here, heavenly matters are truly confusing. Originally, there was no emotion, and here, he has no time for himself. I can use the fasting water. Heaven gives you many rewards. It's not a closed path. Empress Dowager, close the door. You're arguing about this again. The farm's expenses are almost catching up to your palaces. I'm not here at this time. Empress Dowager, what are you worrying about? Nonsense. How much silver has she collected from you? She must have a daughter. Otherwise, she wouldn't be the palace keeper. Empress Dowager's orders are swift. Other consorts give birth to sons. Other consorts give birth to children. She wouldn't let them be born. She miscarried a son, but her body recovered too slowly. Yet she kept getting pregnant. The late emperor favored her for bearing children. She gave birth to 4 children in total, using blood pills to raise her status. In the end, she became the empress of the late emperor. She lived until now, and that daughter has taken everything from her. It's all my fault. I am the late emperor's only son, born with a silver spoon from childhood. It must be because of the late emperor's favor, but precisely because of this, everything is so precious. Receiving your favor can be so smooth. Not only giving her full expenses, that girl and a pair of twins, that girl and a younger sister too. All expenses are maxed out. Have you eaten the imperial meal yet? Your Majesty, Empress Dowager asks. Sit down and eat with us. Debt. Tonight, I will definitely settle this. I'm closing the door. Now I hear the system prompt. System prompt. The consorts are excessively extravagant. Protect the kingdom's fortune by 5 UU points. The consorts are extremely jadelike. Gain an extremely jadelike skill. The 100 kings continue their efforts. The 100 kings continue their progress. But now it's not the right time. The young prince quickly kills the enemy. The young prince worries about killing the enemy. Your Majesty, the ministers have just submitted a memorial. The ministers have just submitted a report. The young prince is only a child. Submit a report. I frown. Why? It seems like a knife. Your Majesty, the decree displeases the people. The previous decree displeased the people. Your Majesty, the previous decree displeased the people. You ensure the prince's safety. The young prince is only a child. Liao Rui, with your peace, the people can resume normal life. Then we must quickly suppress it. I order. On this matter, my stance is very clear. Empress Dowager 11 hears this. Empress Dowager 11 hears these words. Her face shows worry. Empress Dowager, no need to say more. I have spoken. I will first deal with these ministers. I will first handle these ministers. The Empress Dowager will dine with me. Then I will take my leave. The Empress Dowager still has me by her side. Take a sip of tea. Receiving your memorial is also a comfort. Receiving your memorial is truly a comfort. There is a difference between the living and the dead. The Empress Dowager's face shows worry. I agree with what you say. I arrive at the Muhal. I see the ministers kneeling on the ground. The ministers all bow their heads. The ministers all lower their heads. I say calmly, please withdraw the city decorations. I, the eunuch, beg you to withdraw the city decorations. The procession oppresses the common people. This blade is too harsh for the ruler to wield. This month is too harsh for the ruler to wield. This month, the ruler's tolerance is too harsh. The ministers spoke one after another. I took a deep breath and spoke. You, the temple, are so determined to see this through? Stop it. A high minister spoke up. Sit down and discuss the plan to halt the transport. Under the throne, the canal transport must be halted. During this time, some were injured. During this time, some were falsely accused. Do not discuss purchases. I listened and then spoke. What objections do you have? What opinions do you have? Speak within the palace. There is only one sun in the sky. Quickly suppress the unrest. Do not let chaos spread. All ministers must exert their strength to find a solution. Can the dispute in Jiangnan be resolved? Can the affairs in Jiangnan be handled? The procession can be avoided. But before Jiangnan is pacified, my decision will not change. The chariots will still enter Jiangnan. Suppress everything. When the ministers heard this, they were stunned. Nothing will change until you come up with a good solution. Please take your seat. You may speak now. Now, I await your strength. I will see if you have any determination. Each one is more capable than the last. If you have a better solution, present it for me to see. I must set it aside. I must set my mind at ease. Then leave the AI Muhal. All the ministers looked at each other in surprise. They stared for a long time. I cannot rise. A gray stone. Officials with real power began to leave. Blood rushed to the midwife at that moment, and the marriage ceremony came quickly. All the ministers have left, turned to the cabinet, hoping to find a better solution. And now the army has flooded Jiangnan. Many military officers in Jiangnan have been recruited by the great families. In fact, most of the low-ranking officers are from those families, and they have the power of these impoverished nobles. Should we let their people into the city? A military officer said. Outside the city, there are dense rows of chariots. These chariots are completely different from the city's garrison chariots. These chariots are from the border garrison. Guangxi. The Jie kingdom and the Qian kingdom are at odds. There have been skirmishes and battles, and these border chariots have clearly been through war. Of course, let them in. A special chariot also has this noble seal. These chariots came on the emperor's orders. You dare to intercept them? No, I dare not. But the great families, those great families deserve to die. As for me, Just prepare properly. In the end, there shouldn't be any major issues. Then, the city gates opened, and the chariots entered. The city gates opened, and the people entered, more smoothly than entering your own home. General Kohan led his horse. General Kohua led his horse. Stepping into the city, Jiao Wenxian was appointed by the court. Jiao Wenxian was appointed by the court. And now, with a sharp blade in hand, naturally, he will give his all. Kohua entered Jiangnan City. Kohan entered Jiangnan City. It's not appropriate to let the chariots stop here. Then he paid respects to the local brocade guard commander. The emperor's procession, please. I am the brocade guard commander, but there is still a historian official. Today, I will go with the envoy. Brocade guard commander He Lidong. Kohua returns the salute, but that hasn't been decided yet. His face showed confusion, because the commander refused to state his official rank. He only said his name. This is strange. Generally, I say my rank is insufficient. The historian official is here. Then state the official rank and add the name. Otherwise, when we meet, we won't know how to greet. Brocade Guard Commander Gu Guandao. He is one of the 4 favored men under the throne. He manages all the brocade guards in the kingdom. I only have a brocade guard token as my rank. All brocade guards obey this token. Originally, this token was only used by the emperor. Fala, Kuhua's handsome eyes. Then what is his name? I use a name to represent him. It is named after one of the 4 heavenly kings. Yu Long. Emma Wu. Ada. Kuhua was greatly shocked. Is it that mysterious? You sure? The 4 heavenly kings represent him. He commands all the brocade guards. I have a small favor to ask. This is a different matter. At the very least, it's worth 10,000 special chariots. At the very least, it's worth 10,000 general chariots. Hearing this, Kuhua's face stiffened. Now Jiao Wenxian is favored, but he cannot hold us back. We must properly teach him a lesson. A moment later, a brocade guard as strong as an ox appeared. This man was extremely sturdy, yet his face was quite handsome. A strong sense of discord. He then spoke of one of the 4 great brocade guards, Yu Long. The local brocade guard